Hello, hello. It's been 2 days, and I should say happy birthday to Radiant Dawn. It's 17 years old today. Time flies. Like I didn't get it on release, but pretty much 17 years of my life it's been on my mind off and on. As I said before, it's still one of my favorite games. Probably my favorite game when I'm viewing it through nostalgia glasses. But there are some other games that I like a little bit more, just from a gameplay story perspective. Horizon, Zero Dawn, stuff like that. But yeah, happy birthday to Radiant Dawn. 17 years. That's such a long time. Hey, and Sang Noble, Sang the Prince. Any preferential for what I should call you? Thank you for following. And with that, we have gotten our sub goal. At least the chat has a nice animation for that. Let's have that glorious animation for Radiant Dawn as well. Great day to hit the 50 mark. And hello Garrett, nice to see you here as well. Sorry, I had to quickly fix my YouTube chat. In case you didn't know, like every time I have a new stream, I also have a new link for the chat. And OBS Studio I have to re-input that link every single time to get my chat on one specific on one specific screen. Otherwise, I'd have to tab in between that and the YouTube live stream. But yes, ready for another stream. And you wanted my input on something. You're making stabs into the game, adding some combat staves, making that unique so that they're low power and can never crit. However, they always hit. What do you think? Also, I went to this screen. I'll have it in just a moment. It coincides really well with the fact that we just hit the 50 follower achievement, because I have something fun to show you guys. The video will be coming out soon, but you can get a sneak peek. But I will need that display for it in just a moment. Resident Liability, hello as well. But yeah, staves always hit. I think that they probably would die out by mid-game. And what do you want your staff users to do? Because the way I see it, usually you want your staff users to heal on player phase. Your unit is a healer first and foremost, so probably they will be healing pretty much 80-90% of their turns. Otherwise, they're probably staff grinding, just getting barrier staff for some experience, stuff, things like that. And I think it's probably a good idea to have something for them to do whenever they are, whenever they're not needed as a healer. Maybe they're not in reach, or there's no one to be healed, or maybe the person that has healed doesn't need to do anything themselves, so they chug a vulnerary and they just dash on like a paladin. Seth just going on an adventure already. However, on enemy phase, healers of course have less to do. So you probably are able to do this in Lex Talionis. Like, I don't know the specifics, but there's, like, you've told me about a lot of things that you can do. So what I would do is maybe have some staves that auto-equip, or like whenever you use a heal staff, then you can auto-equip the battle staff, maybe similar to how Path of Radiance did it with like the 2 equipment pieces. And from there on out, maybe give the staves specific effects on enemy phase only, so that you could use it on a player phase. Like if you need to get a hit in, you want to finish an enemy off reliably, something like that, you're still able to do that, and you're able to have your healer contribute. But then on enemy phase, maybe one staff gets a bunch of crit, or another staff gets a might increase, or maybe when it's kind of like a D&D reaction type thing, whenever you get hit, you either give a staff advantage proc, or maybe you give them a brave effect, so that like you get attacked but you do quick back to the enemy. Those are kind of things that you could think about, having your staves do more than just healing. Or rather, having your healers do more than just healing with the staves. But I'd allocate the power budget on the point where the healer doesn't have healing as their first and foremost priority, which of course is enemy phase. But that's my optics. You're on Fire Emblem Universe, of course, so there's a lot of things that you can probably think to check there. There's probably some topics that go into a more deep dive. Maybe the hack design meta, like that Discord channel, I keep an eye on that as well, just because there's a lot of stuff that's really interesting to read, and I like getting other people's perspectives as well. So yeah, those are my inputs. Other than that, I wouldn't really know if battle staves would really make an impact past like the early game. Even the fact that they always hit is reliable, but no crit and low power, that is a very low power budget. So yeah, I'd give them something on enemy phase in that case. And now I should not leave you in waiting any longer, because I have something to show. This is also why I wasn't able to, this is why I didn't do anything yesterday, even though I said it on stream that I might stream if people are interested. I was so fixated and busy working on my project and working on making the video that I just completely lost track of time, and I worked through the entire direct. Luckily, the only thing interesting was Unicorn Overlord, so we didn't miss much, for me at least. Like there's a few games, the Shin Megami Tensei looked really cool. Of course, afterwards there was also that Elden Ring DLC, but I don't have Elden Ring yet. I am very interested. However, it's just in the backlog of my games that I want to buy eventually, but probably I'll get it like secondhand somewhere. So yeah, there wasn't really that much for me, although Unicorn Overlord does look really interesting. Also, I want a different window. Where is my window? Don't start virtual camera. Game overlay, window borders. Which one do we want? I want the metal one. Yeah, that's better. So, I was working on a video and I got some people together. I actually am going to... Where's my music? I'm going to pause this really quickly because this does need a little bit of audio. Please let me know, like, if the... I'm currently putting it at 5%. Hopefully this isn't too loud for Radiant Dawn. I usually have it like very low at the background when I'm working, but I don't really know what the balance is when it's on the live stream. Yeah, the direct was pretty weak. Maybe 3%. Okay, put it down. I'll put it at 3%. This should be okay. So, I of course am working on Daybreak, and Daybreak has a lot of new skills. You already know that. It's got a lot of new things planned, and at one point, since I'm also just very good at procrastinating every now and then, good, it's 3% now, so good suggestion. I am a great procrastinator, so I just like watching YouTube. I have some channels that I'm subscribed to, and at a certain point I saw a lot of videos pop up in the Pokemon community, because even though I don't play Pokemon anymore, I like the VGC, I like the Smogon analysis, and I also like to view like some Nuzlockes. Like, those are like the three things I really like. Challenging stuff and meta discussions, those really interest me still. Really don't care for the games anymore, although according to the leaks we might be getting one based on the Netherlands, so I might actually hop in if that one looks good. However, I am going somewhere with this. The Pokemon community had a viral moment where a lot of escape rooms were popping up. Freezeye was making one, and then also Smallland designed one. And I thought Fire Emblem could work really well for that. So I'm going to showcase just the tiniest part. And I'm loading the... I believe I'm loading the wrong chapter. It shouldn't be the prologue. Okay, I have to go to chapter 2. I'm just going to showcase the very start, and I'll show the map, but I'm not going to showcase anything else. But this is a teaser for a video that's coming up, and this is one of the first projects that you're also going to be able to play yourself. That's why I don't want to show too much, I don't want to tell too much. It's going to be an escape room, and it'll be available to the public. You'll be able to play it, you'll be able to try it, and I really hope that you'll, like, if you're interested, you can even make like a video as a reaction and upload it, show me how you did. So here we have, greetings brave souls, welcome to Anna's Escape Emporium, a place of thrill and adventure. My name is Anna, and I am your humble hostess and guide through this meticulously crafted escape room. Will your wits prevail against all odds, or will my puzzles, riddles, and clues prove too much for your feeble mind? We'll soon find out, hehe. But first, let's lay some ground rules. Rule 1. Keep Micaiah alive. Very important. If at any point you feel like you're stuck, Micaiah can come to me. A twist and a whirl, and wow, the whole map is back to new. You can find me right here. It's very useful that there's one character with a red ponytail that flies a wyvern. It's totally Anna. Trust me guys, it's Anna. Whenever the map resets, you'll enter a new run displayed under the victory condition. Try not to restore Dolphin, as this will track the amount of attempts you've made to escape for, you know, bragging rights. Rule number 2. Pay close attention. The Dark God is in the details, so you know, stay sharp. Not every mechanic has to be the same as you're familiar with. I took creative liberties. I mean, you know me, right? Rule 3. Things are static for a reason. There is no RNG involved in the solution. Take note of the initial state everyone is in, and then try to turn the situation to your advantage. If by any chance during the reset something breaks and you see an additional item or so, people can come to me. I'll come up with a new, updated patch. And this intro spiel is like, it's for multiple people, it was also for a video reaction. Whether you're doing this live as a reaction or you're watching as a viewer, I hope you'll enjoy. That's all from little old me, good luck, and if I win, I might give you a reward. And please tread carefully, I may have dropped some of my coins. So, we have an escape room, and it's literally 1-3. And the objective is to escape. I mean, what more fitting would be the escape room in the first prison map where you actually have to escape? So I'll show Micaiah, Laura, and Raphael. Micaiah of the Dawn Brigade, the only wielder of light magic and ready to throw hands. And here we have Jill, or Anna I should say. And there's going to be a few things, like, what's this? What could it mean? And the best part, this is not going to spoil or anything, but I can show you here. I made a very cool reset mechanic, which I'm very proud of. Because if I just stop Raphael, you'll see now in the left corner we're on run 1. And then if I get stuck, I can end my turn next to our lovely Anna. Animations are on. So this is how you reset the map. Alright, I don't have a weapon. Poof! The entire thing resets. You don't have to reset Dolphin. It just immediately allows you to do this again. Actually, the ancient language font is already in the game, and it's really easy to use it. And as you can see, we're now on run 3. So, this is coming out very, very soon. I won't spoil too much, but you're able to see the map, you're able to see some of the things that are interesting. And, well, I hope you'll all enjoy. The video is almost done. And, yeah, once the video goes live, I'm going to release a patch, and it's going to be available. I'll add some things. I'll have to work out a few more bugs in the code, and then people are able to play it. I would love some people, like, if you're willing, you can literally record yourself, make a reaction, and like upload it to YouTube just to showcase how you did. But also just I'll make a channel where people can show their runs and their problems, and like also a bug report channel. And I hope to make more of these. This one took a while, but like the entire reset mechanic, that is a very easy to copy and paste thing. So I can use a lot of the things for this escape room for the next one. And at some point I'll probably also need some playtesters for a new one, so that's going to be important. I might ask some people if they are willing to help with that. And there's going to be, of course, a few people in the video that are going to attempt doing this. So place your bets on which 4 people are going to be featured in the video, and who are, and of course then you can all at the start of the video, once it's live, predict like who's going to have the least amount of runs, who is going to go through the escape room the best. And yeah, I hope it's going to do like a lot of good for the channel. Showcase really what Radiant Dawn is able to do, and I really hope that a lot of the other people, like other content creators, Fire Emblem content creators, will be enjoying this as well. It's been a big project. I've been working on it for a while, and it's nearly done. Nearly done. Stupid little nail. Usually not a nail biter, but every time it just hooks on, like, you know, those small hooks, and when you try to pull them, they just tear into the skin. Absolutely hate them. And yeah, liability, I will show you in just a moment. I can grab Paragon, because I know where this is. It also means that I'm able to, let's see, don't need that one anymore. Characters, or no, classes, I believe. Because I have an entire escape room ISO ready. Teaching this part. There we go. So we have Escapist Raphael, and we also have Escapist Raphael. They're the same, except one is transformed and one is not. Or even better yet, Jill, no, Anna, Jake, that was the one. Here we have the class was for Anna was Jake Rider. And a very easy thing to do is when you have like this is a, people call it a pound sign. I have a story about like this little sign actually, because I always call it an octothorpe. However, if you do pound F01, then all the text behind that until you write down octothorpe and then lowercase f, all the text in between that will turn into ancient language. And that's also how you get stuff like the red text, the green text, flashing text, blue text, like icons. You can even put icons here and there. Those all happen with like the sharp icon, pound icon, octothorpe icon, whatever you want to call it, with then either F, C, or some other values. And you can really do some creative stuff with that, which has been showcased, I believe, in the FE Universe Daybreak trailer as well. Like, there's a few items that have icons in the description. And that's how you do that. So I don't actually need to put in and save the entire, what's it called? The entire ancient language font. I can just do that. It's really easy and very nice to work with. So yeah, hope people are excited about that. And well, we'll see how well people are going to perform. I may have made this one slightly too devious. Like maybe it's a little bit too hard for a first attempt, but this is something I learned as well. It is goddamn hard to make an escape room, to playtest it, and to judge how difficult it is. Because you have ideas, you implement those ideas, you work around the coding restrictions of those ideas, and then you playtest, you bug fix, you do all those things, and you think, this entire sequence makes sense to me. And then you have someone playtesting it, and they go in an entirely different direction, make connections that I would never have thought of. And I'm like, no, that's not what I meant by that. Where are you going? So yeah, it's difficult. Like the playtesting part is also really infuriating. I know the solution. Like I know the solution. So how the fuck am I supposed to playtest it? Because the only thing I can do is like, oh yeah, no, I'm in this situation. I wonder what I have to do. Like, I know every single step of the solution, so I really do need some help with that. I had a few lovely people help me out. Victor Hill was one of them. Another person in the Discord, Balal, helped me as well. He'll feature in the video in a small way as well. I had a small snippet where I needed some Discord conversation, so he helped me with that as well. And yeah, next escape room coming out not soon, TM. There's a little bit too much workload that I have currently that I'd have to do first. Cleaning up Daybreak stuff, working on some of my actual studies, because this thing has been living rent-free in my head for a long while. It's been like December, and I finally had like a big spur of motivation. I recorded my own voice for the entire thing and then went through all the footage. I did that in January. I went through all the footage, which was 14 hours of highlights. 14 hours of highlights is a lot of work to go through and then like, oh, this is a cool snippet, that's a cool snippet. I ended with 3 hours of highlights and I had to condense that into a 30-minute video. I got it to 34 minutes. I'm very proud of that. So for me, I am very, very happy with how the escape room turned out, and I really hope all of you will enjoy the escape room when it releases. It's going to be like probably this week. I really hope to have it ready. I have a few minor things to edit in the video, add some flair in there, add some finishing touches, but yeah, it's been a big project and I want to get it into your hands. Mirror Samurai, welcome, and this is not the kind of stream you normally join, but well, Daybreak interests you, that's very nice. Thanks for the interest for that. You just missed it, but I guess I can showcase it one last time. Yes, the GBA sprites are very entertaining. I love them. It took a lot of time. Oh, I could also put the music back on. It took me a lot of time to get all of those working because the program that runs them, Stream Avatars, does sprites in horizontal, so frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4. And all of the GBA sprites and all of the 3DS sprites and all of the sprites for every single Fire Emblem game on the Sprites resource are frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's absolutely horrible. I had to do all of that by hand, pretty much. I had to write a small script that just automatically in Photopea moved like the cursor and moved blocks to move the sprites around, and then I had to do some finishing touches. But it's over on Twitch. You can type !avatar and then you're able to select one. So if you're also willing to view on Twitch, I don't know if you're a YouTube Twitch person, then you could get your own. I hope did I select the escape room? I'm going to show it just because other people probably won't mind, and I'm just very proud of it, and you just barely missed it probably. I don't have Daybreak yet, but in a few days I will be showing an escape room. And this is the start of the escape room. And it's Anna's Wondrous Escape Emporium, a place of thrill and adventure. My name is Anna and I'm your humble hostess. You'll be able to view this if you're interested back at the start of the stream. However, I can just quickly show you the map with Micaiah, Raphael, and Laura. And the objective is to get through this map. How fitting, of course, that it is the first escape map from the first prison map where you have to escape in Radiant Dawn. I couldn't find a more fitting map to start with. Also because, of course, it's quite small. Maybe one day I'll go to like big escape rooms that are like the size of 3 Endgame and you have like different sections that you have to go through. But we have a challenge for you. I'll say that much. It's very difficult. If I may believe the contestants that I had the pleasure of working with while I was recording for the video. So yeah, Anna's Wondrous Escape Room Emporium, version 1. Have to fix some minor bugs that came in at the last second during recording. They didn't break anything major, but yeah, some small bug fixes, finishing the video. I hope to have it released this week, and then I'll have some like a big product since been a few years since, of course, reverse recruitment. Big product that I'm actually able to get into your hands, and it has some Daybreak stuff in there as well. So if you're interested, I highly recommend trying it out, maybe recording yourself, like making a reaction, or just sharing your progress in the channel, because I'll make a channel for that. Anyway, that was my entire spiel. I do hope I'm not too repetitive in that regard, but I'm just incredibly hyped for this project. It just took a lot of effort, lot of thinking, a lot of playtesting, and I'm really grateful for all the people that helped. And I want to get something tangible, something cool, something that people can enjoy in people's hands. We were last time at working on the transfer skill, and we also made a start of going through all of the function lists, and I think we left off at F. Yeah, left here during stream. So I was planning on going through like maybe F, G, and H, just for people that are interested or that want to watch it back. I think Crimson Iron is one of the people really interested, but he isn't here right now, so he can watch it back as well. But there's F, G, and H aren't all that long, and I can still like tell a little bit about how I use some of these functions. Some of them, of course, aren't really that interesting. The for one actually is rarely used. Don't even know where it is used. It's used 800 times. However, a lot of those are with the force get stuff. So if you look for, it's literally only 31 examples. Even be used anywhere. But apparently it is a working function. We were at... But it's not used in Radiant Dawn, apparently. So that's probably just my mistake that it's here. From functions, these are also not really The F something are all very they're all very various reference numbers. Face creates, these are for showing character sprites on map, like the portrait arts for conversations. Face move, you can either move left or right. I don't know why it's here doubly so. Preload, I don't know what it is. Set right, of course, is the one that's currently talking. Fade ins are usually used for units that walk on the map and they fade in or they fade out. FE8 unit check exists by PID is used very sparingly. It's literally only for checking if Leith or Mordecai have transfer data. Like if you have inherit data from FE9, which internally is called FE8. I know it's confusing, but FE8, the actual FE8 and Path of Radiance, FE9 as we call it, were developed at the same time. So it's called FE8 in the scripting language here as well. And it just looks for if Stefan is able to be found. Ah, yes, the Soldier's retrospective. I really do want to... I have a Myrmidon video in the works. However, at the time, it took a big long while to get the... it took me a big long while to get the Soldier video out. And I've gotten a lot better at DaVinci Resolve and video editing, especially for this video. I hope you'll see the improvements. However, I still don't know a lot of the hotkeys, so it's very slow working. And I'd love to learn a bit more about how to work with DaVinci Resolve before I do like a big edited video like the Myrmidon video in that case, because it has a lot of moving parts. Whereas the current video is mostly highlights and, of course, me talking and going through the script. So it's a lot of repetitive work, whereas the Myrmidon video, I want to have a little bit more variance in the stuff that you're seeing. You're into it right now, but you don't know how to put the Thane Exalt into Visual Studio. I might be able to help you with that. I don't know if you've done this already. You can search by extensions here. And you should be able to find like Exalt script editor, or if you look for Thane 98 or something like that. No, that's... like there's a... oh, here's the installed section. And then Exalt FE scripting. This is the one you need, which is made by Thane 98. I don't know if you can... if installing this is enough. However, I am going to, because I did it myself at one point, because I'm able to edit it, but I don't know, Sang Noble, if this is enough. I will be looking into this at some point. I haven't had the time yet, but I'll do a stream and probably make a video on how to install and do all kinds of stuff with Paragon, and also for like Exalt scripting. The information is in the Discord, probably, but I just can't remember because it's been such a long time. Also, Themos, nice to see you here as well. You just missed it. I sadly already showed it twice, but I do have something coming up in the upcoming few days, and if you're interested in an escape room, I do recommend watching back like the first bit of the stream if you missed it. And let's see, Mirror Samurai said, I think the main thing that interests you about Daybreak is the mechanics from Fates. I mean, Fates does have a lot of improvements. Freeze, lunge, and enfeebling daggers. Yeah, there's so many things to take away from other games, and I don't want it to become too clogged. That's why I'm removing sleep, for example, because we don't need too many status staves. I also don't have space for too many, of course. But freeze and lunge are stuff that really create dynamic gameplay patterns a lot more, and I want to use them sparingly. And the daggers, of course, because they're going to probably be infinite use. maybe not, I don't know yet. Maybe it's better to like use them, or maybe put them on X amount of uses per map, that you really have to choose what you're going to do, kind of like a cooldown system. But there's going to be a few things that I want to take from other games and then implement, but I don't want it to become cluttered. Good to know that Swordmaster is like a personal favorite of mine as well, because I love True Blades, and then I played GBA games later, and yeah, the GBA games are fantastic in every sense of the word, like the animations, but Swordmaster with like the 5 people and Lin as well, same thing, very, very cool stuff. I have a lot of resources gathered for the video, but I haven't really done editing yet, so it's going to take a while. Yeah, and definitely sleep is way more crippling. Like, it's pretty much deleting an enemy off the map, especially if it's 6 turns. Like, that's not reasonable. Yeah, I'll like Themos probably has some information on this as well. If I'm reading like what he's currently saying, I'll make a video and I'll do some searching at some point to have a general video with an instruction and tutorial on how to install Exalt for script editing and stuff like that. I do like, you'll probably like the fact that the sleep or free staff, and I don't know if silence is going to stay, maybe it's going to be something else as well, but those staves are going to be quite short range, like maybe 4 or 5 range max, and then the L staves are going to be a lot stronger, have probably magic divided by 2 range. So yeah, I do concur that shorter range is good, makes you more proactive, because if you really want to get your healer up there in the thick of it, if you want to take out or incapacitate a dangerous enemy. However, 1 range sleep doesn't really make too much sense for me, because then why not just kill the unit with another unit? Unless they're like incredibly strong, but then there's probably other status effects that do work better for that. Sleep maybe if it were just 2 turns, like the turn that you activated and then the next turn, that could work a lot better. And then it might be useful for long range, because you could use it like to halt the progress of, let's say you get reinforcements and those reinforcements come in, but you're like the mini boss, like the commander of that group of paladins, for example, you could sleep him so his group moves but he doesn't, so you can kind of break up the amount of damage that it's going to do. That's just one of the ideas I have, and yeah, it's all a matter of balancing. We'll see what feels good, what feels nice. Currently, a lot of the things you'll see in the videos are, all the values will probably shift around, because there's no framework to measure against. Also, I really hate that little piece of nail. Be right back. So very curious what I'm going to do, because as I said, there's currently no framework, no measuring stuff. I don't have anything to measure it against, like enemy stats. I have an idea of what they're going to be, but I'll have to modify them, and then based on that I'll have to modify the strength and range of staves, because maybe 7 range is too oppressive, maybe it's not, maybe it feels good, maybe it needs to be longer. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of just tweaking here and there, and that's going to be like in the map design stage, which I'm not there yet. But if you want something that's at that stage, then of course you do have Exalt or Exalted, which is made by Dunal. And Crimson Iron, nice to see you here as well. What am I doing? Well, you missed a little bit. I'm currently going through this list of all the functions within the scripting files. I just told that face create, face delete, these are all for conversations between portraits. So the face set bright, for example, is who is currently talking. Fade in and fade outs are for just turning the map black, or turning the screen black, or you can have characters fade out. The unit check exists by PID is a very specific one, which is only used to check if Leith and Mordecai can recruit Stefan as well. And that's pretty much where I was with this part. However, you did miss me showing a sneak peek of an escape room that's going to be released in a few days. Maybe tomorrow, maybe 3 days, 4 days from now, but I hope to get the video and the escape room that I've made into your hands this week. It's going to be a very difficult, probably, escape room for a lot of people, because it really requires some extensive Radiant Dawn knowledge, and I really hope that a lot of people are going to be incredibly hyped and excited about playing it. I hope to see a lot of people going through it, maybe some YouTube videos where people record themselves, or I'm going to open a channel in the Discord where people can show their progress, stuff like that. And of course it's going to be accompanied by a video where I have 4 people that went through the entire escape room, and the entire escape room gave me over 15 hours of footage to go through, and I condensed the 15 hours of footage into a 30-minute video, so I really hope you'll all enjoy. And yeah, that's pretty much where I've been so far. Of course, we said happy birthday to Radiant Dawn because it's currently the 17th birthday, and Sang Noble also became the 50th follower, which was nice for me. So thank you all for the support in that aspect. We were at face check. The FIDs, of course, just reference unit face data. I have no idea what the file sweep MRAM does. I don't know where it shows up. It shows up in endgame, apparently. No, yeah, it does show up in endgame, and it shows up in the opening of with Skrimir. Interesting. The fin effect is just the ending effect. Flame A, B, C, D, E, and F are for the crates in 3-3. Flag 8, these are checking for support ranks. So if a unit had a support in a previous game, so for example here, this is the talk between Jill and Leth, then you can check if they have a flag for a support conversation. Focus commands or functions all are just for focusing on a unit, of course. Force bird animation, this is used for the little orange bird Yune. Force get count, this is how many enemies or player units are on the map. Get first, we've used this a bit, which allows you to cycle through units. Force rotate to a direction of an area. Force rotate PID, so a specific unit. I don't know what the PID area then is, probably a specific unit towards an area. Force rotate on position area, those all are used in specific instances. And then force unit animation, you can make Micaiah run, you can make her stand, you can make her kneel down to do the healing animation. Get by PID, move direction, like these all are pretty self-explanatory. Force unit transform, for example, transforms Laguz. Get is of course used a lot for flags, like if this or if get flag something, then do this. GF complete, GF game over are used for, well, those are really self-explanatory. Go to is used if you want to skip certain pieces of code. So let's say I have a check, and if that check is negative, then I don't want to do the rest of the code. So if unit test skill and the test skill comes back negative, then I can put a go to end, and I just put an end at the bottom of the script so that it skips the entire thing the script would do if it had found the skill. Game bind, no clue. No idea what these are used for. I believe some tutorials. GCST, I also have no clue, but it's used 78 times apparently. Get live bonus, get turn bonus, of course, are for bonus experience. Get button, you can press specific buttons, and I do actually want to do this at some point. I'd love to just have a get button sequence that puts all the settings to what I like to have as the standard settings. Then get die enemy num to complete is get the amount of enemies that have died and get that number. To complete is for 3 endgame. Get fragile HP and get fragile max HP is for doors, I believe. And then get frame, get Fuki position X, I have no idea. I believe this was for some attacks, but I don't know what these are for. Get map height, get message width, no clue what they're used for specifically. I mean, the context, of course, like getting the map height is self-explanatory, but what you would use it for, I don't know. Get num die brothers, enemies, and players and thirds are all used for the get die enemy num to complete, because those 4 are the total, and then if these 4 together match this one, you complete the map. Get round treasure, this is just for finding treasure. Get time, I don't know, probably used for like game time. Get terrain tile count, this is for seeing how many houses have burnt down and actually collapsed in 3-9, and if that is a certain value, I believe that there's like 6-7 houses, so if it's 7 then you get a game over. Don't know what GID is. Gmap, background music play, background music stop. Map build, of course, builds the map. Curve dispause on off, I have no idea. Curve draw, draw wait, I don't know. These are all things that I haven't done. Maybe it's the global map. These are maybe all for the... Oh, I think curve draws for the arrows on the exposition maps with like the narrator. That's probably what these are on. Because these regions, thinking of like regions, it's probably like Banyan and stuff like that. And then grand finale, yeah, it's used once. Set final, dimming, staff roll, fade none, fin effect, war records, unit ranking. So this is literally like the final bits and pieces of the game once you cleared it. Oh, I have to get back, of course. So we've gone through a few again, and next time we'll start with H, or rather we'll start with I. I mean, H is just so small. Here, HP of course used for HP values. Hero and hero focus all just look for, I believe, for the hero skill. Hide map cursor is what it says, it hides the map cursor, and hide prim 2D is for disabling battle info, I think, because this, if I recall correctly, is used for when Ranulf fights Zelgius, or maybe when Skrimir fights Zelgius, like that kind of stuff. And hit effect simulates hitting an enemy. It just does the effect, and I think it's the effect plus, like, you can put then an animation on a character and it'll make that animation. Let's see, you downloaded Thane 98 GitHub. Oh, cool, Themus actually linked it. I hope that has all the stuff that you need, but I'll still make a video with a tutorial, because I'd love it if more people got into Radiant Dawn modding eventually. Like, there's so much fun stuff to do, and more people, it means that eventually we'll also maybe get people that are able to modify maps, because like being able to do a map editor, that would be fantastic. You could make your entire own game at that point. Also, I have been neglecting Mirror Samurai a little bit, just because I like talking about functions too much. Just have to quickly see where I left off. Long editing phases. Oh, editing phases, actually. I have something really cool to show in just a moment. It's actually Paragon, but I did a little bit of work, and I'll get to that in a moment. Myrmidon video. Yeah, Myrmidons are cool. Sleep with 1 range, 1 to 7 range. Oh yeah, the hexing rod, I get the frustration. I do think that it works in Fates. Maybe it's overly used at places, but the concept is cool. But I think it might have, maybe it's just a little bit too many uses. That could also be the case. Which is why I'm thinking of like staves, maybe with a cooldown system. If you have the cooldown, if you have like 3 uses or 5 uses per map, kind of like 3 houses with dedicated spells, like personalized spell lists, that would be maybe a good system, except then it wouldn't be personal. But like Dorothea has only like 3 bolting or meteor. I don't remember what she has, but she only has like 3 of those, and she has Lysithea has like 2 warps, I believe. That would be a cool way to try and get people to use them each and every map without people trying to hoard them for other maps. And maybe then at some point you could, if you become tier 3, you actually get like an extra use of the warp staff, if I'm able to code the warp staff in, that is. There's so many things you can do, and I want to try and have people be proactive in the equipments and the resources that they use, and that they don't feel like it's a bad thing to hoard things, because that's something you always have pretty much. Whenever you have, whenever I have a warp staff, I hardly ever use it because I'm still really bad with that habit. What if I need it at a later chapter? Yeah, hexing rod has 3 uses. Maybe I think 2 would have been better. Oh, complete reimagining of Revelations would be good. Like, there's so many gimmick maps, and the gimmick could be toned down a little bit. I really do think that, and this is from someone who hasn't played Rev and Conquest fully, like not even halfway point. I'm currently at like chapter 21 of Birthright, and I haven't finished any of the Fates games because I'm a fraud of a Fire Emblem player, to be quite frank. I believe I still have FE8 like at the last chapter, but I never finished it because my battery died on my 3DS, and then I just forgot. But I do know a lot of things about the maps and like the gripes people have with it, and there's a lot to be improved. But I do really like Revelations for its sandbox possibilities. You have pretty much every chapter or every character, and there's so many things you can do with that. It does offer something unique compared to Conquest and Birthright. Yeah, so maybe if you had like two rescue staves and they both had like 2 uses. One would be in the Dawn Brigade and one would be at the Grill Mercenaries, or maybe the Crimean Royal Knights have one as well, although they don't really have a staff user. But if you had like a few of them and then you could spread them out in part 4. And when you get tier 3, if a tier 3 unit would then gain a skill, for example, I know that Khalil is going to be an Enchantress class, and one of her personal skills is going to be that she's going to be one of the few people able to use L-staves. So that gives her a really specific niche, but then maybe another staff user like Riz would be able to use staves. If he has the rescue staff, it actually gets like an additional use. So there's a lot of things you can do with that. I did, however, promise a tiny, cool piece of paragon modding. Because I went through the trouble of translating through the help of DeepL, because I can't do that normally. I went through the trouble of translating 2 files. Paragon, please load. Or crash, also good. Okay, I went through 2 things. One of them was battle weapon types. That one is not yet visible? Not yet visible in OBS, okay. I think both of them, by the way, won't be, so give me a sec. Battle weapon types must match. So this is one. And this is the short one. I went through the trouble of translating these. These are none, sword, spear, axe, light weapons, and spears, because throwable javelins and stuff are different than normal steel lances. Hatchets are throwable, axes, throwing light weapons, probably daggers, not sure which one, magic sword, magic bows, bowgun, claw, breath, staff, and arrow. And these, as we will be able to see, match with battle weapons. If I look at the steel sword here, for example, here in the bottom, you can just barely not see it due to the other window. Here in the bottom, that 01 equates to what kind of battle weapon type this is. So I was able to tell, because this is 08, this is 10, so that would be a bow, and then 0B, 11, is indeed bowgun. Just a nice and easy reference sheet. Like the battle weapon types wasn't the biggest one, but maybe I can add a new battle weapon type that way. Maybe there's some other conditions that have to also be applied here and there, but at least it's something that I might be able to do for additional weapon types, and maybe I could then also expand the weapon triangle slots that are currently available. See, yeah, you're definitely a fan of full-size roster, both cultures, weapons, and classes. I like the fact that you get both weapons, classes, and especially the skills. Of course, it's okay if you have a few maps with tight space. Yeah, I mean, it's you do have like breathing maps are very important. This is why, in my opinion, the 3.6 to 3.7 map in Radiant Dawn are very well done, because 3.6 is like a very intense chapter for first-time players especially. Like if you know what to do, you can not trivialize it, but you can at least alleviate a lot of the pressure. But that means specific resource allocation in part 1. But for a new player, you like suddenly you get really strong tigers. And then the next chapter, it's kind of a breather map. If you want to take it high-paced, you can. But you can also wait. You could theoretically just wait on the map. I don't want to have you waiting on the map because that goes against the story. But it does feel a lot more like a breather map. There's less stakes. And wait, can you play this with the Wiimotes? Hello there, Mr. Broskiful. I would say no. I don't even know if Daybreak is going to be able to be played on actual hardware. And the other question is going to be in that, or the other point then is Radiant Dawn doesn't really allow motion control anyway. However, what you could do is apparently you can add a Wii remote to Dolphin, and you could connect it to your computer some way, but I wouldn't be able to tell you how. Getting, however, back to my point, I also went through the trouble of going through this one, the battle setup. And I just realized this is also a window that you're probably not able to see. So give me a moment once again. Window capture. There you go. High likelihood that this also doesn't say, like, doesn't tell you anything. However, these are very important, and I think I'm able to alleviate one of the biggest complaints that people have had with Radiant Dawn, which is the long enemy phase. Because these are all kinds of battle setup pieces, so to say. I'll list a few of them. Basic spacing, close range placement, long distance placement, up in the air, far above the ground, wall placement, movement limit, camera limit, sky skill, altitude, run start distance, normal shake time, special shaking pad, assault distance, spear speed, spear rotation, spear sway, hand axe correction, arrow speed, arrow rotation, extrusion ratio, contour density, darkening time, depth fade time, stop slow time, ripple interval, number of ripples, water surface look ahead, skip time, and blend time. There's no L plus ratio, however, here, but some of those, stop slow time, depth slow time, and death fade time, and victory fade time are very interesting. Let's see. Victory fade time, which is number 72, is currently 60. That's 60 milliseconds. If I put this at 500, it's going to be absolutely awful. But I'm going to show you anyway. Yeah, we have the prologue here. Also, Makai is still being picked up immediately. Very, very cool. Super good skill currently. Do I kill? I do kill. So the victory fade time is set from 50 to, or from 60 to 500 milliseconds. Oh, nice. We get a critical hit. And right. This was the This was the fin effect. It doesn't matter. It does matter. Damn it. It doesn't do damage. My bad. I kind of forgot I hadn't put those in yet. But we finished the game, so a win is a win. Okay, we'll try again, and I'll make a quick save state so that we actually use one of the correct ones. Meteor, are you... Okay, Meteor should be fine. So we kill, and now this fade out is going to be agonizingly slow. As I said, 500 milliseconds. We're still not done. There we go. Oh yeah, and it currently has doesn't kill unit, and it has AoE on the Meteor Tome. However, this means that we can also do the opposite. Now I've put it to 5. Let me quickly copy and paste. God, I love those backgrounds. Meteor. Don't even have to move. So I set it, instead of 500, I set it to 5 milliseconds. And you'll see now that the fade out after a victory is going to be very quick. Very quick. This means that I'm able to speed up a few of these things. I won't be able to speed up load times specifically, probably, but we're going to be able to probably speed up some of the gameplay and make some of the animations as well. Just move that a little bit faster, spear throws and stuff like that, which is going to, even if it's like a 5 or 10% increase, we're going to be able to speed up Radiant Dawn gameplay a bit, which one of the big complaints that people have. So to me, this is a big win. I haven't been testing this out all that much yet, but I did translate the entire thing. I put it in a Word document, and that's also one thing that I'll make publicly available once I've got like a decent amount of resources actually written down and just worked out into a neat document. But yeah, we're going to be able to speed up gameplay. We're going to be able to adjust game speed, add so many more things. So it's also just going to be a faster and snappier game to play, and I think that's going to also entice a lot of people, because we all meme on Radiant Dawn enemy phase. I mean, even my not streaming card is waiting for enemy phase to end, so yeah, very, very hyped about that one as well. So I am going to be right back. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, Mirror Samurai. I have seen the fantastic videos of the difference between Blissey in Diamond and Pearl and Blissey in Platinum. Like that HP bar, you have a big contender for which enemy phase is going to be worse. Or the surf speed as well. Like, I believe surf speed was twice as fast, or maybe even 2.5 times. But anyway, I'm going to get a quick new cup of tea, and I'll be right back. Stay where you are, or don't. I mean, I'm not your mom, but would be nice to have you here when I get back. See you in just a bit. Seems while I was gone, Satutu followed. Thank you very much, and thanks for the interest. Feel free to lurk. Just love people hanging out, people being interested in what I do, and you won't have to wait long for a project, not Daybreak, sorry, but you won't have to wait long for a project to release, because I do have, hopefully this week, I'm aiming for that, an escape room coming up. If you've by any chance seen the Pokemon escape rooms that popped up a while ago, then you also probably know like the Small End video where he put a few Poketubers into an escape room. I did the same thing, took some Fire Emblem content creators and put them in an escape room of my own devising, and I'm going to make that available to the public as well. So yeah, something to look forward to, and I really hope people are going to enjoy that. Also, where are we? Let's go to this one. And also, Mirror Samurai, thank you for the compliments. Although I suppose it also goes to what's it called? It goes to 3 Hopes mostly, because I took a lot of the resources from there. But yeah, I'm very proud of the stuff I've been able to make. To me, I really love the bar in the bottom, but mostly just that transition. It took me a while, and I'm just very happy with how it turned out. Maybe kind of weird that for someone who mostly does Radiant Dawn stuff, I took so many things from 3 Houses and 3 Hopes, but they just have such a clean... They have such a clean style. I really love it. There's a few things, I don't know if I can... Let's see, stream... Like a few people followed, so you've been able to see that one as well. But I also, big shout outs to Mecha, by the way, for this one. I was able to take some of his footage, which is how I also got like the background. The background is an entire swirling like turn wheel, and I do have that turn wheel somewhere as well. Just give me a second. I can make it and add an arrow. And of course in this one it's not going to be very impactful. However, I plan, once I hit affiliate, which thank you all, I probably will be able to tomorrow, because it takes a while for Twitch to update their stream info. But then I'll be able to add channel points, and I'm going to add hotkeys so that people can use their bonus experience to either level up the units that are walking on the map, or they could also place, like, I'm going to take all the Fire Emblem hero heads and place them so that you can sort, like, you can adjust where the arrow goes from the turn wheel, and then a head will show up of like a... So you should be able to do like exclamation mark FE1 Marth, or exclamation mark FE3 Arvis, exclamation mark FE9 Jill, and it should go like from a certain wrong one. It should go from a certain direction, like 1, 2, 3, and then have the head point to to the character that you spend your points on. Like, that's the goal I have for it. It's going to take a bit of work, but it is something I do want to add. It just seemed like a very cool thing to me. I like that as a part of my stream. Probably in... I don't know where it would fit, probably here behind chat as well, or at the bottom. And of course, I have the multiple window borders that people can eventually use their channel points as well to modify. So we would have... Let's see, where are the... We could even have like the very cute stars. There's just so many things that I was able to lift from 3 Hopes. Oh yeah, and the one that I got Mecha from, let's see, where are my... Yeah, advanced stats. alert box. This is just going to be a test, but it should show on the stream as well. I was able to use some of his footage and use the Luma keyer to remove the background. Oh. And then you also get stuff like, if done correctly, yeah, we get a level up with like some animations. Or the follow, which is the recruited one. These are all, I just really love the animations for these. I was debating if I maybe also should take some, what I should also take are some of the League of Legends animations, because their Hextech stuff looks kind of similar and I could probably use some of that. So yeah, any kind of appreciation for that, like I put in a lot of effort, so it's great that you're enjoying the way it looks and sounds and whatever. So that is very, very nice to hear. Yes, we have the stars, and we also have one of my personal favorites, just kind of a autumn feel. And of course I'm not doing that much gameplay, so you don't see this one too much right now, because I'm mostly working with this one. But still, I also should have a book somewhere. Yeah, I also have my book. I don't know what the book is going to be for, but the book is going to be useful for something at some point. At some point. I don't know when, I don't know what, but it's going to be useful. We had animation time. You know what the stars have? 5 points. They do have 5 points. Oh man, the Fire Emblem OVA is so good. I wish we got something new. Like, call me very delirious, but something in the style of Arcane, or maybe in the style of Vinland Saga, but then for Fire Emblem, something like that would go hard. I'd really love something like that. I didn't really have anything else with Paragon to do right now. I believe I showed the battle setup. Like a few of the things that I really would like to add are not the affinity bonuses, here at the weapon interactions. Just being able to add more of these would be so good. Also, an update on dark magic, or rather earth magic, for the people that didn't see it last time. Because for anyone interested, we do have earth magic now. And it's not entirely done, but I think I'm going to share it under... I'm going to share it under dark magic and then recall dark magic into elder magic. No, dark magic is not earth magic, don't worry. I think I'm going to rename dark magic here as elder magic, and then you're going to have every single magic class is going to be able to use elder magic, but then a subcategory of that will be the dark magic tomes as you know them. But I needed a place to be able to store the magic tomes. It actually comes from Fire Emblem Heroes, because colorless magic there, or partially it comes from Fire Emblem Heroes, but the colorless magic there has some stone animations. It has Elstone, Arkstone, or Stone, Elstone, and Atlas. But here you'll be able to see. Yeah, don't worry about dark magic in Daybreak. You'll have plenty more. But we do have actual earth magic as well. Yeah, Canas indeed does call it Elder Magic. And these would be basic combat spells for every single class. They would all have access to them, and then you would, like, all the actual dark magic users, in this case in vanilla it would be Peleus and Loran, but I'm going to give Micaiah access to dark magic as well, for example, and Soren maybe as well. I'd have to, I think I gave it to him as well. I had my reasons for that. But the dark magic tuners are pretty much going to have every single dark magic tome be a PRF weapon. No, they will not be part of the magic triangle. They'll be like, Engage has the surge magic, and this is going to be the same thing, just basic magic for every single, available to every single mage. And Atlas was the last one. So yeah, it's going to be, everyone is going to be able to use earth magic. So technically all characters would have a dark magic rank, which is why I'm going to rename it into Elder. And then the actual dark magic tomes that we know and love from Radiant Dawn, those are going to be available only to the people that actually are able to use dark magic as the intended, like, dark magic. But I needed a place to put the stone, the earth magic somewhere, and it feels to me really like the best fit, because it doesn't fit under wind, fire, or thunder, or light. It came closest to dark, and dark is able to be renamed easily to Elder, whereas the other ones don't really have something that will work in the same vein. Themos, that's just mean. Canas is weak to blizzards, but there's no need to be so harsh on the man. Also, I wish I could show Micaiah using dark magic, however, she gets picked up every single turn. Poof, and she's gone again. I might make this into a short, because people in the subreddit Discord server, they like throwing in the shade at Micaiah liking minors every single time, like, he was just a boy. It's like, and now she can't actually stay off of him. Yeah, both light and dark magic is just, it's really, would also really make the way she plays different, because in Daybreak I'm planning on having light magic get a avoid bonus versus sword, lances, and axes, because we see in the first cutscene that Micaiah, she blinds the sky, or she blinds everyone, and then they run away, which is like, you avoid enemy attacks. So light has a blinding effect, and that way it has it gives you an avoid bonus when you're fighting against mostly melee weapons. And dark magic is going to have a bonus damage amplification versus them, so it's going to deal 6 more damage when attacking sword, lances, and axes. So that's going to be a way that it differentiates the two. So she could either fulfill the role of a dodge tank, or she could go for like a really heavy powered attack, because light is of course going to deal less damage naturally, and then also with, if you really want to hit hard, you can also attack a fighter and then gain 6 bonus damage if you're using dark magic. Yeah, don't worry about mages being infrequent or among enemy ranks, and they're not going to be so homogenized, because currently what's the difference between a fire, thunder, and wind mage? I just told you how light and dark magic is going to be different. Fire is going to be the quote-unquote axe of magic in Daybreak. It's going to be mostly one range. It's going to also mean that all the fire mages, like this one for example, here we have, well, that the fighter is kind of bulky, but here we have Pugo as a fighter. He's level 5, he has 34 HP, 8 defense. This is a level 2 fire mage. 6 defense, 29 HP. Like, he's only a few HP and defense behind a fighter. So these are going to be chunky boys. They're going to be like warrior level HP and pretty bulky. It's really going to make them all different. Like, wind is going to be mid-range and thunder is going to be longer range. However, low might, high crit, and there's even some there's some places where I might actually put in like really long range longbow users or bolting users, and then they would have the mercy skill on the enemy team, just so that they're there to chip, but they won't be able to like do a low percent crit and kill you. It does, however, mean that of course it would allow other units to follow up. But I really find it weird in Fire Emblem that swords, especially swords, like you have wind edges, you have killing edges, brave swords, you have worm slayers, you have light brands, you have rune swords, you have, well, the sonic sword is basically the same, but still there's so many different kinds of swords. And then you have the magic of the game is fire, stronger fire, even stronger fire with a fancy name, ultimate fire with a fancy name, which gives a speed bonus. Like, come on, that's like, how is your magic so non-magical versus the swords, which have all these crazy and cool effects? That's so weird, don't you think? Like, why are the magical weapons the least magic-y out of all the weapons? Like, swords, lances, and axes get all these cool effects and they feel really different. Every single weapon feels different, and then, yeah, I get my fire, my elf fire, my arc fire. That's just weird. It doesn't make sense. Like, why does that not make sense? Anyway, personal rant on fire over and other magic systems. Like, brave lightning tome, dire twin bolt, probably going to name it dire thunder in the end anyway, but like, dire thunder, really cool tome, really memorable. It's a brave weapon. Celica's Gale from Awakening, same thing. All of these are going to have, or all of them, a lot of them are going to have really cool effects. Even the basic fire tomes are probably going to have some cooler effects, even if it's only like gain +2 might on enemy phase. Like, there, at least it has some new thing. And that's why I want the earth magic to be like the really basic magic, to just have. It also allows for magic users to have a way to negate the weapon triangle. If you have a fire mage with only fire and you still want to hit like a specific, I can't remember what the triangle is right now, by the way, but I can look it up. So if you have a fire mage and you have to fight a thunder mage, you could just use earth magic and you bypass the weapon triangle. That's interesting decision making. Yeah, Fates did a lot better with that. Like the Calamity Gate, really cool weapon. Horse Spirit, really cool. Other games just make fire and magic so boring. Magic needs to be unique. Like, not every tome needs to be the same as like a Brave tome or whatever, but maybe a Thunder tome, like a basic Thunder tome, could get maybe 20 crit only on player phase. So that means that it's a really good idea if you see a Thunder Mage on the enemy team that you try to kill them on your phase, because on enemy phase they'll have a killer weapon. Like, there's so many things you can do, and I really want to make magic feel more unique. And then also make every single weapon type feel unique within all those like within magic as a subtype, because dark is going to be like full on damage. Light is going to be dodge tanking. Thunder, long range, high crit. Fire, high might, low hit, up in your face, mostly melee. Wind, probably going to be like your basic 1-2 range hit on res, mostly for speed, high hit. It's probably going to be like the most boring one, but also the most reliable. Having dark magic that can inflict poison. I actually have like a lot of those already planned. Oh, what did I do? No. Yeah. You can all still see. That's good. Status weapons. So this is a long list, mostly because it's twice. Everything is there twice. It's for player and for enemy. However, we have the Savage Shiv, which is... I'm going to go through all of these weapons just to tell like what kind of skill they proc. Savage Shiv proc Savage, which means it halves your skill, or it halves the user that is hit, halves their skill. Umbral Shiv puts enemy to sleep. Probably going to be a very late game weapon, of course. Skill Deadeye. Yeah, still sleep. Then Paralysis Shiv. It is going to freeze them. Same thing. The same effect as the freeze staff. Blinding Shiv. This one might not work because it's currently only for mages. But Corona, it's going to have not your skill but your hit rate. It's going to be like an upgraded version of the Savage Shiv. Stunning Shiv, it stuns an enemy, like not really all that like self-explanatory. The Poison Shiv, it poisons. And I'm going to make poison more impactful because 1, 2, and 3 damage is nothing, especially not with the higher HP values. Lulling Shiv is going to silence. Lagging Shiv is going to have your speed. And what else do we have? The Locking Shiv. This one is going to make it so that you can't use your cooldowns. Because of course Daybreak will operate on a cooldown system, so this one is going to stop cooldowns. And then we get to a few tomes. Blazing Pyre is going to have your skill. And then the next one, Shockwave, is going to... Which effect is it going to do? It's going to shock you, or like it's the shock effect is the same as freeze, so I'll call it freeze here, but in Radiant Dawn it's called shock. But it just means that you can act but you can't move. For wind magic, the Wilderwind Tome is going to have enemy speed. Light magic, light is going to probably do the Corona, so it's going to have your enemy's hit rate, because once again, blinding effect. And then Miasma is going to stun. So every single tome is also going to have like a different status effect. Status effects are going to be mainly on knives, but every single magic type is going to have a status variation. Where currently fire does get the short end of the stick because it literally gets the downgrade compared to light magic, but fire is going to be high might anyway, so it does have a lot going for it. Dark magic most gimmickly, like Nosferatu and Ruin. Yeah, dark magic and FE7 is good. All the other ones are boring. There's Valor, which I kind of make to be the opposite of Nosferatu. It's powerful, but it costs HP. That's also like a mechanic that devil weapons will be a thing. Blessed weapons are a thing. Light tomes can be the only type to get a blessed weapons. That's also makes sense. Like a blessed dark tome seems kind of weird, even though it is possible in Radiant Dawn. And you've also had the idea with a light tome with a support role when it When it initiates combat, it restores health to nearby allies. Yeah, those are all like really cool ideas, and they are a lot more interesting than just basic tome, steel tome, silver tome, silver tome, and like the like. It's baffling to me that they never did anything cool with... Hello. I have company. Good enough? I think for now I'll probably adjust it. Oh no, that's not good enough. Yes, so okay, there we go, that's better. Also, yeah, Themos, if you like Zyrtec and Jormungand, sorry for kind of forgetting Twitch chat there for a moment, but like there are so many cool names indeed, because currently Wilderwind and Twinbolt are great placeholder names, but I will be going through a lot of them, and like I'm looking for active feedback, of course, once I've got all my tomes figured out, and then I will be actively looking for all kinds of cool names. Like I like Dagrios before, for example, because it's like Dagger and Eos, which are both light deities in different mythologies. Maybe something with Helios. There's all kinds of things that can be done, and Zyrtec and Jormungand are like Jormungand, of course, being from the snake that envelops the world, would also fit if there's any more possibilities for Earth tomes, but I believe I pretty much had my limitations with the amount of Earth magic that we were able to make. However, if there's any more possibilities, then it might open up, but I think that for like for the basic magic that doesn't have any weapon triangle advantage, and that's just like basic iron sword, steel, silver, it does fit to just have stone, Elstone, Arkstone, and then Atlas, because it's already in Heroes. Yeah, definitely Greek mythology. Like, I love Greek mythology and Norse mythology. Those are my two favorite ones. I had Latin and Greek in high school for like 6 years, but I grew up with my grandmother who taught Latin and Greek at university level, and she told me of all the stories of Heracles and the Aeneas and the Odyssey. Like, all of those, I grew up with those stories. So there's so many things that we can think of, like the Scylla and Charybdis, which are like, Charybdis would be really cool for a water thing, water-themed magic, because of course, or maybe for dark magic, because it's this gaping jaw in the ocean, and it makes a whirlpool, and it just swallows giant boats whole. And then Scylla is in a cave nearby, just multiple heads that snatch up people of the crew of Odysseus. There's so many cool things to work with. Just especially Charybdis would be a really cool one. Leviathan also probably like a cool naming convention. Although of course we don't really have water magic that much. Like ice is closest, but that doesn't really feel like water magic. Ice feels more northern mythology to me. You'll have to tell me though what Lemegeton demons are, because I don't know that reference. Also, I'm going to Nosferatu is going to be dark magic, and Rosario is going to be light magic. Like, I do want to bring that differentiation back. Shin Megami Tensei. Yeah, and water magic. I don't think there's too many water animations. Like we've gone through the entire list, and the biggest we got was like small splashes at people's feet. So that didn't really work for magic, sadly. But still, we have earth magic now, and earth magic is going to be just basic ass magic. And I like the fact that we can name it after something that was in Heroes, because then it at least has some canon relevance. Oh, it's a grimoire of demons. And that is cool. Yeah, you can do a lot of really creative stuff with that. Loving the ideas so far. Definitely going to look into some of those. Yeah, I'm also just mainly going to look into Greek, maybe some Norse mythology, but Heroes has taken a lot of inspiration there already, so I don't know how much I'll be able to do with that. But there's going to be better names than Shockwave and Stormclouds. I'm really looking forward to like finishing all of them. I still have to add some of the animation and camera switching to the earth magic, but that's the only thing I have left to do for earth magic, and then I'll be able to make a video on that. Currently the only one that actually works correctly is the Atlas one, because that one always looks at the enemy, whereas the other ones, if you attack from one range, I don't know if sending a link will ban you. I don't think it should, but probably safer in the Discord. Yeah, Discord is safe in any case. Yeah, Bolverk indeed, also from Norse mythology. Although, I believe Genungagap is also from there somewhere, but that one just still sounds silly to me. It feels made up. Genungagap is it's fun to say, but every single time it just feels weird. Yes, Micaiah is being picked up. Oh right, I was testing some things. Did you know that cancel in like people? Let's ask it a different way. You've probably all used Mia from Radiant Dawn, or Edward, or any of the True Blades. Zihark and Mia probably being the two prime examples that you use, because who uses Lucia the entire game, and who uses Stefan when they've used either of the other two. And Edward has Wrath, which doesn't really fit with what I'm going for. But who has done like a Vantage Cancel Resolve skill combo on their True Blades? Which I believe only Mia can do, by the way, with capacity. I believe Zihar can do Adept Cancel Resolve, but specifically Vantage Resolve. Because there's something that people didn't realize until quite recently. If you've ever used Vantage Cancel Resolve Mia, congratulations. You've wasted all three skills pretty much. Turns out, just like Death Blow and all those other blow skills in other games, Cancel only works on player phase. Cancel cannot activate on enemy phase, even if you use Vantage. It literally doesn't work. This came up at some point when Don was like going through all kinds of video resources, and he was looking at how he was expecting a certain level of success and he wasn't getting it. or maybe it was used as Gordon Captain, but they were working on LTCs for Radiant Dawn, and they were like, I'm expecting this result, but I'm just not getting it, and Cell, can you look into this? Turned out that cancel just doesn't activate on enemy phase, even if you use Vantage. It's so weird. And I was doing some testing because it also came up, and they were curious about counter. So I placed our lovely bird here in range. And counter, even though it doesn't say this on Serenus Forest or anywhere else, you can see Burden activate, which is Shriek. Sets the enemy user's luck to 0. However, currently there's a 100% activation rate for every skill in Daybreak, because that's how the cooldown system works. It's just under the hood it takes the skill away and it just has placeholder icons, and then when the cooldown is there, it adds it when your cooldown is on 0. Once again, counter doesn't proc on 2 range. Hopefully someone hits here. Nope. Can we get a hit on player phase? Not with a 17. Can we get a hit at all? Nope. Okay, so we can't get hit. But trust me, it does apply on 1 range. I did hit someone, yeah. So, like, this is just Shriek. I renamed it because I wanted to also be available to non-Laguz units, and Shriek is more of a bird caw kind of Shriek. That's what they were probably going for. So this is a vanilla skill. It's just renamed to something that would apply to Bjork and Laguz. But apparently counter doesn't work on 2 range either in Radiant Dawn, which everyone thought for like the longest time. So there's still things that we're learning about. Skills in Radiant Dawn. Last year, the weirdest thing, and this is still not in the Veil bot or the Oifi bot. It's not on Serenus Forest. But did you know that Colossus has a secondary effect? Just like Deadeye puts the unit to sleep. You hardly ever see it. Like, you can only see it pretty much on a Leonardo that attacks like a cover tile general and endgame, or a, let's say, Meg with no strength growth, Meg no strength growth pretty much with Luna. It triple strength and negates your defense. Like, all those things, the negating defense is a secondary effect. Turns out that Colossus also has a secondary effect, like a triple strength. But what it also does, it adds your strength minus enemy defense as bonus damage. So let's say you have 10 strength and enemy has 5 defense. So normally with, like, let's say you have a 20 might weapon, so you would have 30 might minus 5 is 25. Then you triple your strength with Colossus, so you go from 30 all the way up to 50 because you get 20 bonus strength. Minus 5 is 45, but what actually happens is on top of that 45 damage, you also get a 10 minus 5 additional damage, so another 5 damage for 50 total. Which is weird, and you never see this unless you have like 0% mode on and you use a Nolan who has like noodle arms and procs Colossus and doesn't kill the enemy, and you're like, but wait, that damage calculation is wrong. It's not, it has a secondary effect, but the only effect is I have my damage, and as a secondary effect, I have a bit more damage. Like, how stupid can you be? we were so flabbergasted, like, why are the damage calculations off? Why isn't this working as intended? Turns out there's an additional damage add-on on Colossus, and this is still not anywhere on Seren's Forest, and it's not relevant because you always kill with Colossus. Like, there's no world, there's no scenario where you normally don't kill with Colossus. You have to use like a minus Might Forge Iron Axe with a Noodle Arm Nolan to not kill the enemy. It baffles me, but I've taken away the strength multiplication, so now I actually do have a new extra effect, which I'm going to call it Mighty Blow, if I recall correctly. And Mighty Blow is going to be like you do a bit of extra damage. That's cool, but we would have never known if it weren't for modding Radiant Dawn, because everyone just thought, oh, it's just you do extra damage and congratulations. Anyway, yeah, Radiant Dawn is weird. Also, yeah, supermassive extract that puts the enemy to sleep. Well, I mean, it kinda does. It's just a very long permanent sleep. It's not even on the wiki, I know. It's weird. Anyway, yeah, that was my TED Talk. Another TED Talk once again. Even though Radiant Dawn is 17 today, I still like to bash on it for its weird mechanics, but I love it. I do think, however, that is a great place to call it for today, even though I didn't even do any coding. I hope you all enjoyed these weird trivia moments and the sneak peek for the escape room. I am going to have to do some cooking in just a moment, and I do have some last bits of work to do on that video, so I want to get that out this week. And I just really want you to be able to experience it, to play with it, and yeah, I hope that'll be something that you're looking forward to. Anyway, that's been it for me. Stay on the lookout, and I'll catch you all next week for just a regular stream on Tuesday. Probably going to be a bit more productive then, but at least for now, I hope I've gotten you excited for what's coming soon. Yeah, that's it going to be for me. Anyway, thanks all, and thank you for helping me reach the 50 follower goal. I'll see what I can do with channel points in the near future. Going to take a look at that as well. For now, Sal out.